Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. Where was I? SATA cables. The only issue with this is you can't remove them, obviously, because it's flush on that. So if I wanted to ever remove the SATA cables, I actually need to unbolt the board and just lift it up a little bit to give me that sideways movement on them. You've already seen that one bolted, but Silverstone fan filter on the back there, that's an intact now. And the I/O panel's in as well. The fans along the top are a tight squeeze. I'll flip it upside down and show you in a second. I/O panel's on. Have decided that I am going to use the stock I/O, and I hope you can see in there. I can't really tell by the viewfinder, but there's a little bit of cable management going on. It's nice and tucked away. I am going to do something with this. I'm probably going to make a strip of acrylic that goes the full length and covers this as well. Make a little cover for it. I'm also contemplating maybe making a acrylic piece to go around this whole sort of area. I'll see how it goes. I'll just flip it upside down. So here we are upside down, and you can see the massive problem I'm going to have with the 8-pin power socket failing on that fan. Again, these are only on with terrible screws at the moment, but they'll be button heads eventually. I'm going to mod this last fan here. If it makes sense, I'll remove this metal, this grey rubber bit. I'll Dremel off that whole section on the other side. So this bit will only be mounted with a small screw off that bottom bit of black plastic. And I'm hoping that will give me enough clearance to have the 8-pin power plug, sorry. I don't think it will. I'm probably going to have to mod the plug as well, but I'll get it in there, don't worry about that. I'm also going to tidy up this whole motherboard. I'll peel all the stickers off. I will peel all the stickers off the RAM. I'll probably remove the red tops that say Corsair Vengeance on as well. It's 16 gig Pro it is, and obviously the terrible Intel stock fan will be gone. What I will do now is put the power supply in and test the backlighting, see what it looks like. Alright, so that's the power supply mounted. It's bolted in nice and firm. Cable management I got going on through that one hole there. I think it came out pretty good. I was going to use sleeved cables, but I don't think I'm going to now. I think the sleeve cables make everything look a bit more bolty. I had a white sleeved extension I was going to use for this, but I don't really think I'll like it now. I'll show you why I've made it that shape. Obviously around the back here is not exactly managed with cables yet. This is so the USB 3 can come through that and slide down into that and then get plugged into that. Something like back to front. Something like that. And then the 24 pin. See, I was going to use an extension so it was going to come through, but I don't think I'm going to now. I think what I'm going to do is I'll just pause the video for a second and plug it up and show you. Right, so that's the cable sort of as it's going to be mounted. What I think I'm going to do is make like an acrylic panel that will bolt over that, which will sort of slide on, if you get what I mean, to cover up this massive hole that's going to be in it. That's for the 2 PCIe cables for the graphics card. Yeah, I drilled a hole because it was easy, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I'll think of something later. Once I get the card in, I'll see how it works. But it's beginning to take shape. Alright, I might put the side panel on and just disconnect everything except for the backlighting, and I'll see how it looks. Okay, one thing I did forget to show you, I took video of it but I forgot to post it in one of the videos, was cutting up the front panel. So due to the awesome magic of video editing, I'll cut back to that right about now. Okay, so now I am going to hack up the front panel. You can see I've removed the plastic border. That was really easy. All you have to do is pop off some little tabs that are melted through on the other side here with a razor blade, and they pop straight off. I've hit with masking tape to mark the edge where I'm going to cut it, and I'm also going to cut off these bits here, because obviously they're not needed anymore because of the 5.5 inch bays are taken up. Should be pretty easy, it looks pretty thin. And then later I might hit this with a hairdryer and get that off nice and clean and use it. Finished product will look something like this. I cut the grill out of this and I've just repainted the plastic trim on it in flat black, and I've used some modders mesh to cut out something that'll fit it and spray painted it black, and just using the original case badge. All I'll do is run some epoxy, run some epoxy around the edge and get this in nice and firm when it's ready to go, but for now it'll just slot in something like this. It should look something when it's complete like that, and I'll click it on the front. Will look something like that. Now I will remove the stickers off the front of the Corsair fans and just have that one Corsair badge. I might move the Corsair badge down to that fan, I'll see what happens. Now you can see on the top here how I've got that white sort of theme going, and then the front here I've got the white circles. I'm actually thinking about making something out of acrylic to mount in between the fans and the front of the case, so there's sort of that white sort of thing going through the grill, if you know what I mean. It'll make sense when I show you. I'm just going to cut pretty much a piece of metal with 120mm fan holes cut in it, paint one side black, one side white, so then I can flip them over and see what it looks like, if you get what I mean. And that will stop light bleeding at the front, which I'll show you right now. So I'll flick the back lighting on, and that's sort of the thing I was going for. It's a little bit subtle, it's not in your face super bright white lighting, but just flick it off and flick it back on. And you can see the light, there's a little bit of light bleeding out the side there, so if I put a panel in there it'll stop that. There's no light bleed out the top because of those radiator brackets. So you sort of get that glow from behind the motherboard, behind that bit of the radiator there, at the bottom of the radiator. I think it looks pretty cool. And there's a strip up the top of the radiator, but you can't really make that out. Maybe I should lower that down a bit. I don't know, I'll see what happens. I'd have to, yeah, I could do that. Just lower it down so it's a bit brighter. But anyway, I like it. And that's sort of what it'll look like with the side panel on. There's no window in it at the moment, it's just clear, but I've painted the trim black when I painted the front trim. Yeah, I like it. Should look good when it's got some fluid in it.